Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, every time I'm in here, there's so many books that I
Dude, it
want.
seems like a cool place. This whole, I would never walk around.
Yeah.
There's a thrift store called Archive.
Yeah, but yeah, the books. Like, I just want to get like a bunch of books, but
Okay.
it's so much money, and I just wish there was a place where you could get
a book for
books
free.
for free.
Maybe you bring it back and you get to get another book.
Yeah, and maybe if you could like reserve.
You could probably hold on to it.
Yeah.
They might even have like movies.
Yeah.
Video games.
You'd probably need some type of identification though, to make sure like everything's on the up and up.
But then I think they'd give you a card.
Right.
How far is the library from your house?
So not far at all. It's like a 2-minute walk.
Is it really?
Yeah, like legitimately. At max, it's a 5-minute walk.
That's wild.
It's actually really crazy how close.
Do you ever go? I got into going to mine just because it is so close.
I would go every now and then to like go and write, and I don't know, but there's something about every time I see books in the library, less interested.
Wow. Oh, that's interesting.
I'm just not as interested anymore. As a kid, I would go to the library a lot.
Yeah.
And
that's a really interesting observation because I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get that. When I'm in a bookstore, I want everything. When I'm in a library, I'm like, if I'm not going for something specific, I'm like, okay, I guess that.
I think it's because I could have everything, and that's like,
wow, yeah.
And then it's like it's less special, you know. But
I don't want to relate that to humanity too much.
As a kid, I would go to the bookstore a lot. I would get a lot of comic books, graphic novels from the bookstore. Or not bookstore, from the bookstore also, but from the library is what I meant to say.
I would get comics from the library.
Yeah, and I would just sit there and just read for hours.
I'm trying to get back into, actually in the last couple of weeks I've been going to the library more to read specifically. Because I was like trying to work there for a little bit, and I was like, I need to enjoy being over here in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, my ex would like order books from the library a lot because she was a big reader,
just reserve them.
and you can just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the podcast.
Dude, I haven't been over here, and when I walked up and I had to walk by Mr. Purple, I was like, that's me and Tyler Denton used to get drunk over here.
Just at Mr. Purple.
Like one time at Mr. Purple, but it was quite memorable.
I've never been in Mr. Purple.
I think it's like it's for the kids.
Is it a licensed dispensary?
No, it's like it's like you go upstairs and it's got like a pool and it's like
a pool table or a pool?
Like a pool, like a beautiful pool. It's like a super expensive, I'm pretty sure, I could be completely talking out of my ass, but my understanding is it's like young 20s, like hook up, place to be, spend a fuck ton of money, come dressed to the nines, and we pulled up 27, already aged out.
Yeah.
Fucking hammered.
We're too old for that. How are you? 30, 31?
31.
You're 31. I'm gonna be 30 in 2 months.
Oh, I'm turning 32 next month.
Yeah. Okay, it wasn't really like a competition.
I'm like, I will still be older than you. Comes fast though.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, no, really. How do you feel about the Jaylen Brown trade?
I hate the return.
Yeah.
If it had been for Giannis, because I was maybe we've talked about this before, but I'm a Jaylen guy.
Before a Celtics guy?
I was a Celtics fan, watched the 2017 draft, was really hoping they'd pick him because my favorite archetype of player is like a Tracy McGrady type. And coming out of college, he like couldn't really shoot, but just super fucking athletic, 6'7", the flat top. I was like, this is our fucking guy. So I'm with him. I will say the playoffs made me go, in the current league landscape, we won our championship with this construction. I think we need we need someone bigger now.
It's so funny that they just traded for kind of an older version of the same player.
It's like monkey's paw trade. Like, I would have loved Paul George.
Right.
At really any other point in his career. But he looked so... At the end of last year with Philly, he looked pretty good. But it was because he took 30 games off because he's a crackhead.
I thought it was ketamine.
Yeah. Was it ketamine?
That's what... Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
I thought it was like... I thought he... maybe it was ketamine.
That's what
it was like a mental health drug.
Yeah, that's why people are assuming it's ketamine.
Oh.
Yeah, ketamine P.
That's pretty good.
That's what they're calling it.
Ketamine P is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an odd trade in that I think not just because of the return, but who it's with. It's weird to trade your second best player to the team that just beat you. It also is funny that they saw the Sixers get swept by the Knicks and they were like, Paul George, that's the difference. That's yup.
I have to imagine. I mean, now I'm just like, okay, so is this... If we don't do as well this year with Tatum as our pure number one option, which I think we will. I think he is that good. If we don't, though, I think a really interesting conversation will have to be had about the Jays.
Yeah.
But it really hurt my heart. When they... Because I knew they were going to do it, but when I have been taking breaks from smoking weed, and it was the night that I broke my fast. So I was just high as fuck on my couch playing PlayStation and got the push notification, and then a bunch of fucking texts from Candell, Langston, Tawant, all the Boston people, and I was just like, it felt like someone died.
Yeah.
I see news and then just got a bunch of messages.
It's so funny. I feel like the Knicks and Celtics have switched places. The Knicks are champions. The Celtics are making terrible trades for washed up superstars.
I fucking forgot we got Mike Conley too. They posted his him holding his jersey. I was like, this fucking old. You know how little people care about Mike Conley. All love to Mike Conley, but this is gonna be his 20th season too. No one gives a fuck because they're like, dog. I didn't even know he was still playing.
I'm a big Mike Conley fan.
I like him.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is he?
Oh, he shouldn't be. He should be the backup to the backup.
Exactly.
He should be getting at most Kyle 5 minutes a game. Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think he's just there for vibes.
I hope so.
20 seasons, 0 technical fouls.
No, he's still... That streak is
still...
Wow, I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, good for him. But at the same time, if Peyton and Derek are both starting, he might be
he's getting playing time. He should... He's getting playing time.
Is this what you brought me here to do?
No, I just had to.
That's so sick. That must have been so fun.
It's been pretty fun. Yeah. It's been pretty cool. I was looking at they got the commemorative championship book here. I was like, cool. I might buy that.
Yeah, did you get a piece of merch?
I bought
a shirt a Celtic shirt the day after they won.
I got I ordered a shirt and a hat that they were so sold out. The shirt should come here sometime this month, and the hat will be here in August.
Oh, word! Yeah, they're gonna send it to you next playoffs.
Yeah, and but I got on the street. I got one. It was a week after, so they had lowered the price from $20 to $10, and I was like, well, I can't pass this.
You're losing money.
I did order as soon as we won the conference finals. I ordered a shirt immediately. And bought one. Because I went to see Phoebe Bridgers at MSG, and so I got
the $1 ticket thing. How was it?
It was great. Phoebe. She's so good.
Did she play the new stuff?
Mm-hmm.
How's it sounding?
It sounded good. I mean, she played the one that's the single Lost Boys. Yeah. I was actually listening to that on my way over here.
Sick. Yeah.
And yeah, she played some. She sort of sandwiched the new stuff. I feel like that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, as comics, yeah, I was going to say, that's kind of how we normally do it. Tonight, she started with Motion Sickness and ended with I Know the End. Yeah. So she's... Oh, my
God.
Yeah, it was... Which is so sick. Oh, my God. See, that's one of the best songs I've ever seen live. It was incredible.
I love that song so much.
Yeah, so she sandwiched the new stuff in there. But yeah, I was outside MSG and I was like... They're selling knockoff tees. I gotta get one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta get one. But But no, I didn't just bring you here to talk about Jalen Brown.
I'm keeping my phone on my lap just for a bit because I'm fucking off from work.
That's fine.
So just in
no,
case
this isn't really important. It's kind of it's. I don't even care about this at all. It's only my passion project, and the one time I really get to hang out with my friends.
You've been doing this for a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a little over a year. Episode 50 dropping this week.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
It's sick that you had fucking Gary Goldman on a couple weeks ago. That conversation was really good.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks for listening. That's been by far the most popular episode.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Of course.
Of course. I've had some conversations with some other people that I'm hoping to get on, but I haven't had anybody
like booked yet.
Yeah. I had one person booked, but then they got sick, so they had to cancel.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
To get, and he was he was super cool, and
I feel like he's always kind of fucked with you. Like he did your BCC show.
Yeah, we talked about he clearly makes it a point to like give back. I think he really holds the comics that helped him out in such high regard, and I think he sees a real importance in like giving back to the community and helping out people the way.
Thank God.
They can.
Someone does.
I know. I know.
A lot of people do. But way fewer than you would hope or expect. Yeah, and I think that a lot of people they're selective about it. Where I feel like he's not as not to like make myself feel not special in any way. No, but I think that like I don't think it was where I think there are people where it's like, oh, they fuck with you. They'll do your podcast, they'll let you open for them, whatever, do your show. Where I think he's somebody where it's like, oh, if you're like a nice person who is funny, like I will be, and reach out the right way and are respectful, like I will be supportive of you. Yeah. But you've had people that have been cool to you. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. That's like my whole career. Yeah. I haven't gotten to anything. Yeah. Like, I've not been picked for anything. I haven't like. I fucking shit I submit to, like, it's all like people helping me out. Which is great. Yeah, you've opened for Alana Glazer a couple times. Alana is are we doing the like pod now, or are we still just? We've been recording this whole time. Oh really? Okay. Alana's the best. I'm about to say the worst thing. I hate Broad City. Stand-up's terrible. No, Broad City's Broad City. That's why it was so surreal when I got to open for her the first time in Burlington. And the way that went down was because of Joyelle. So shout out Joyelle Johnson too. Again, who's been like the main person that's really helped absolutely. You out. Yeah, really taken you under her wing. I would say basically every major thing I've accomplished in comedy has come from her in some way, whether it's like a recommendation or giving me a spot or just like introducing me to people, like a lot of introductions. And then Alana was like when she reached out to me to open for her, that was so surreal because I love Broad City so much, and I was just like, this is in college. I remember like doing stand up was just like a pipe dream. All good. Oh yeah. But yeah, it was just like a pipe dream, and then so felt really full circle to open for her. And then when I got to open for her on her tour, that was another thing where since we had that relationship from the show, like I guess it was like 6 shows in Vermont, I just sent her a DM and like asked. I was like, I'm sure since this is a big tour, you've got it all booked up, but kind of just putting it out there. And she was like, yeah, I'm sorry it's all booked up, but I love that you asked. Like, don't be discouraged. Like, this is exactly what you should be doing. Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, she messaged me and she was like, oh, like someone just dropped from DC. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah. And it was... I mean, that's still like the best show I've ever done. That theater. How many people was it? I am so bad with numbers. Yeah. What does the Cherry Lane Theater in Washington, D.C. have? It was the most people I've ever seen. I mean, over 1,000? I'd say so. Yeah, that's a lot. That's quite. That's a lot of people. Because she fucking sells, dude. Yeah, and it was so cool. Not Cherry Lane, whatever the theater by the White House. Yeah. Whatever the theater by the White House in DC was. But it was definitely over 1,000. So it was in DC. Was Trump there? Yeah. No, he wasn't. He would have loved my stuff. I think. Yeah, I did all Republican.
You're like, I'm from the South, the best place ever.
Yeah, no notes, no changes. Dude, it was so cool because Alana was cool, and her tour manager, Madeline Kim, shout out Madeline, was also just like incredible. And I was so nervous, and it had been a couple years since Alana saw me, so I was just hoping to do well. And like, you know, I got to pick my walkout music. We did the run through since it was on such a large stage. Crit Here by Big Crit.
Oh, nice.
Incredible walkout song. Shout out Big Crit. And then I was crushing. You know when you realize that you're crushing and then you kind of relax? That happened within like a minute or two. And then when I got off stage, I mean, it just, like, people took pictures with me too. I was like, why?
I think they assume that, like, you know, you're opening for Alana Glazer. They're like, I've seen this guy before, or I will, you know.
Which, like, that was very cool. And, like, you know, Madeline texted me like mid-set about a joke that she liked. So they were just like super supportive. And then once I started crushing, it just like they were like, oh, we like really fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like, it was like she wouldn't have.
That's very cool.
And she articulated, she was like, I wouldn't have like. I think I was being very gracious. But I think in the way I was being gracious, I was really undercutting myself.
Yeah.
I was, you know, kind of like, I was like a Make-A-Wish kid. I was like,
right, like
it's like me do this.
They're not letting you do it's not a favor that they're doing for you. Yeah.
And she like literally was like, you know, I would not have let you do this if I didn't think you could.
Yes.
It was the last show before her taping too.
Oh, wow.
So she was like, you know, don't, I forget exactly how she put it, but she was just like, you're here for a reason and you killed because you killed, not because of anything else.
Yeah.
That like advice and some things that Joyelle has told me, best piece of advice I ever got from Joyelle was move with the confidence of like an average white man. Like just ask for things. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And that is like asking for stuff. And then Ilana giving me the advice to like be more confident in like, or feel more secure when I do get things. Though those two together, I feel like I wouldn't be like the comedian I am without it, and I also wouldn't be like, you know, fucking name of the pod, not famous or anything, but I'm like I'm really happy with where I am in New York comedy, and I wouldn't be without them and a bunch of other people.
Well, that's so funny that Joyelle gave you that advice, because she told me to move with the confidence of an above average light-skinned person.
I like the idea of her just kind of swapping the advice from different races. Move with the confidence of a deeply confident South Korean man. That rules. Yeah, hey man, if it works for you.
Yeah. It doesn't.
People hate it.
I've just gone into every room saying, "What's up, my brother?"
And people, what, do you get immediately escorted off the premises?
You know that Family Guy bit where Peter says the N-word?
Like the Tom Sawyer bit? Like
no, the one where he's like, he wants to go into a black neighborhood and say the N-word, and then he comes back home wearing a cape and a crown and a sash that says King of Black People, and he just says, they respected me for it.
That feels very, I'm going to guess that's like early 2010s Family Guy.
I think even earlier than that.
Really?
I think like probably like first 5 seasons.
That feels like, I think that joke's super funny and also feels like something they would not do.
Yeah, definitely not. No, I think, because everything, it's funny with all this stuff where people are like, you can't do that anymore. People get upset about it. It's like, I think people got upset about everything. It just wasn't like on Twitter. Like it just wasn't, you just didn't see it. It was just like, somebody would be like, that's not cool. And you'd be like, you're right. And that was kind of
then you just didn't watch that episode again. You watched the next episode of Family Guy.
And it's like, or like at most there'd be like one columnist that 50 people read.
In like a state paper.
Yeah, but so you didn't, how did you meet Joyelle?
Joyelle was the first headliner I ever opened for in Burlington.
And that was just kind of like they just asked you to open for her, and then you guys just kind of hit it off?
I knew of her from, I don't know if she did a Comedy Central like half hour, because her special didn't come out until a couple years ago. But I was like vaguely familiar with her just from looking up every headliner at Vermont Comedy Club as soon as they were announced. But at that point in time, I don't know if you remember, but that was when Nathan and Natalie, shout out Vermont Comedy Club, they were like, you'd have to do mics for a while first, and then you do the show, and then, or you do like fucking Skinny Pancake, and then a drink, and then they would come and ask you if you wanted to like do something at the club. And so I think I'd been performing in Vermont for going on a year at that point, and then Natalie asked me. I was like, yeah, of course. Nathan gave me like a script of like, here's some things that you could like this, like how to open the show, kind of thing, like tip your servers, all that stuff. And I memorized it.
Will you try this new bit out?
God, it's fucking didn't like read it in like a comedic cadence. But I memorized it because I was so nervous, and it was like the most stiff fucking like, good evening everybody, welcome to. I sounded like a pre-recorded. So I was standing there with my hands sweating, and your
knees were weak.
I threw up. Joyelle was
your mom came to Vermont just to make you spaghetti, and you threw it up.
And I threw it up. I threw it
all
everywhere.
over your damn sweater.
So you're doing light skinning. It's easy to slip into. I know. But no, I had 101 questions for Joyelle. And
one for each Dalmatian.
Yeah. And she
was like, I'm just not in that movie.
Super fucking like, she answered every question. And I think as we got deeper into the question, she was like, oh, you're kind of like, you really want to do, you know what I mean? Like she kind of like opened or like warmed up to me in that way. And then like both nights that she was there, we just stayed out as late as you can in Burlington, but just talking about comedy the whole time. And then she was
11 p.m.
Yeah, basically. I think we found a place to let us stay till 2.
Yeah.
And she was like, if you're ever in New York, let me know. And I was like, people just say that.
Yeah.
But then I was in New York a couple months later. I was like, can't hurt to send the message, right? She was like, yeah, come to the cellar with me tonight. I was like, okay. Yeah, like, cool, just my dream coming true right away. Amazing. And that was the trip where I was like, oh, I need to make this happen like soon, I think. Because you and Carl and Dave were already here, I think, at that point.
Yeah, they both moved here a little bit before I did, but then I think we were all here at that point. Yeah.
It was going to the cellar with her, and she's always been like super cool about bringing me along. It was like the first time everything felt tangible. Yeah. Like this thing that I've been dreaming about for years and years and years. Like going back to like high school where I didn't even entertain it as a reality, and then college where it was like, okay, I'm on like the college sketch team, but like this could never be my life. And then it was really like end of my time in New Orleans and beginning of Vermont where it started to, I was like, oh, people are laughing. I think I might be pretty good at this. Maybe I can be really good at this. And then going with Joyelle to the cellar, I was like, oh, this could be my life. I just have to choose it.
Yeah. Did you do stand-up in New Orleans?
I did stand-up maybe exactly 4 times in New Orleans. I got into stand-up because I took a class in college called Women in Stand-Up Comedy, which sounds super pandering, but it's...
Did you tell Joyelle that?
Yeah. Totally. I mean, it's like, I call it out specifically because I think it was so cool that my college had it. The professor, Rebecca Mark, she's another person that I count as like somebody who, she was a person who told me like, you could do this. And I didn't believe her yet. I was like, no, I have to get a job in tech. I can't be a comedian. But she was one of the first people, she was the first person who pulled me aside and was like, you could really do this. Because the final for the class was a stand-up set. So that was like for like the faculty and past students and stuff. So that was the first time I performed. And then I did like a newcomer showcase at this festival in New Orleans, run by sex pests. I don't think it happens anymore. But, you know, I was just bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. I didn't know anything that was going on with like that.
Not different than most other festivals. Then.
Well, yeah, exactly. But God, such a bummer it was crazy to just one day be like, oh, I don't have improv class today because they did what? But then I was so nervous. I still get really, really anxious doing stand-up, and I didn't have enough. I had no like stand-up community in New Orleans. I had a sketch and improv community, really sketch, but I did stand-up a couple times. It went really well in the class. It went really well at the festival showcase, and then I did open mics and ate shit for like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, I'll never do stand-up again. And then in Vermont, Carl really got me back into it. Shout out Carl Sonnefeld.
Did you meet him before an open mic? Like, cause
no, I met him at.
Okay, because I remember seeing you at the drink open mic.
Yeah. So right. Yeah. That was. Yeah. I was wearing a Tulane. I remember
you were wearing a Tulane shirt, and I was like, "Are you Jewish?"
Yep. That was our literally. I think that might have been like the second sentence after my name's Adam. And I remember thinking like, why would you think that? I'm wearing college of a school with such a high Jewish population. Yeah. And like I remember doing that mic. The very first mic I did was at the club. Eric Dreiblatt had just moved to New Orleans. I didn't know him at the time, but Joel Klein was like, oh, I was like, yeah, I just moved here from New Orleans. He was like, we had a guy literally just moved to New Orleans from here within the week. And then after that mic, I met Carl, and I remember being prepared to hate him, because if you don't know Carl Sonnefeld, he's like, he's 6'4", friend of the pod. He's 6'4", handsome as fuck, like, white guy. I was just like, well, this guy, what can't he do? That's
the confidence that Joya was telling you. It's specifically, it's Carl.
And that is not how he is at all. I love him. He's truly one of my best friends ever. On site though, you're like, this guy has a boat and he might be a mean guy.
I think that's everybody. I think that's what I thought at first. I think that's everybody's first impression.
And it's like, oh, this is like literally one of the kindest, sweetest people I've ever met in my life. But so I did that mic, met him there, and then he I'm gonna use the word badgered, but he like badgered me on Instagram. He was like, you got to come back next week. Are you coming this week? Okay, I'll see you tonight. Like hit me up like a week before, 3 days before, and then the day of, and then I was like, okay, I guess I'll keep coming back. And then I think I probably went every Wednesday for the rest of my time in Vermont. Certainly until, I think I went every Wednesday until my relationship ended because of it. And then I was like, great, more time.
Yeah.
This doesn't get broadcast in Connecticut, does it?
Ash, do you know a podcast works?
I'm just finding out. I thought this was like local radio.
This is not. I thought this was on like WNYC. This isn't a college radio station? What the hell?
How old are
you? But so what did you? So you wanted to do stand-up even when you were in high school, but you didn't. What did you want to do going into college?
I wanted to write for SNL. Like as a little kid, I was like, never felt particularly moved to be on it, but I was like, if I could just sit back there and write, and like that's my job. It's like all I ever wanted to do. It's still like the main thing I want, but like obviously things have like changed. Just in terms of like stand-up is going so well for me.
Yeah.
It's less of a like singular focus. I would say even up until I left Vermont, that was still, it felt like everything was kind of in service of one day getting that. And knock on wood, would still love to in the future. But yeah, I wanted to do sketch. And so that's how I got into that in college. And in high school, our high school did like video announcements, and the slot was 9 minutes long, but the announcements really only took like 2. And so the video tech teacher was like, I want to do like a show. It was like, it's pretty, like looking back on it, he was pretty ahead of, like short form content in that way, because this was like 2012 or 13. And he was like, I want to take this 7 minutes. I want to produce a show. I want to do like a high school sitcom. And I was in newspaper at the time. And my best friend was in video tech, and he was, I wrote like funny columns for the newspaper sometimes because my serious shit, even though literally won awards in the state, they never would give me like serious assignments. I was like, okay, so y'all like don't fuck with me here. So I went to the video tech. Hell yeah, what's up, brothers? Went to video tech class and wrote a script for like this 7-minute high school sitcom. It was like first episode was like ask like two buddies trying to figure out how they were gonna ask girls to the homecoming dance, and it was like a hit. It was kind of nuts. It went really well, and so that's what got me into like writing scripts, and then that kind of like got stifled in college until like my senior year with the sketch team.
Where was the high school?
Texas.
It was in Texarkana.
Texarkana.
So when
Texas.
you won awards in the state, was the state Texas or Arkansas?
State Texas, yeah. Texas.
Oh, okay.
The Arkansas high school is called Arkansas High.
Okay, because that's, I mean, look, that is, I think I was like, if you're winning awards in Arkansas,
dude, that's really funny because that joke would kill at Texas High.
Is that what it was called? There was Texas High and Arkansas High.
Yeah.
Wow.
THS, AHS, rivalry week was amazing. The high schools played each other. There was a street down the like center of the town called State Line. And it was the literal state line. You buy liquor on one side, you couldn't on the other side. Times were simpler back then.
This is such like an old time.
Dude, the courthouse was on State Line, so it was split in two. So there were like Arkansas courts on one side of the building, and then you walked over to the other side of the building.
How small is this town?
It's not that small. Like, I mean, when we first moved there, it's not a, like, it's a city.
Yeah.
I would say it is now firmly a city, but like as low, like at the bottom of the band of what could be considered a city. But yeah, it's just one of those places where it's like 3 hours from Dallas, 2 from Little Rock. Like, it is the city near all these like fucking bumblefuck nothing towns.
Yeah. That's kind of like where I grew up. That's kind of like Harrisburg's a little bit like that.
Yeah, I guess I've never been to Harrisburg.
Yeah,
a
little bit like, because it's 3 hours from here, it's 3 hours from Pittsburgh,
oh, so
2 hours from
like
Philly, and then there's a lot of nowhere surrounding it.
Yeah. Exactly that. So the high school was like pretty big because it was like the high school. We had 2 other ones, but like it was like Texas High is like the high school. But yeah, and I'm not bitter about the newspaper thing at all.
What awards did you win?
Dude, I wrote this column in hindsight super prescient because I didn't start smoking weed until I was 25.
You didn't start smoking weed until you lived in Vermont?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. I had like, when I first got out of ROTC, darkest period of my life, but grateful I got to get out. I was like, I get to finally try weed because I never did it in high school out of like fear and Southern culture. And I was just like, if I do drugs, I'm going to go to jail immediately. And then in college, I was drug tested all throughout college because of the like Marine scholarship. And so once I finally got released from that, I was like, I'm going to get high. And then I had like the scariest night of my life. And I was like, I think I'm just gonna drink to excess. Yeah. I'll just do that instead.
It's safe and legal.
Yeah, safe and legal. But I wrote this column about the legalization of weed and how it would like make it. I like at that point in time, books I was reading, I was like, yeah, I think crime would go down. It was like safer for people, and so I just kind of wrote this whole column about it that fucking. It raised hell at the school because like no, they didn't want to publish it because they were like it's like pro drugs. And I'm like, I'm literally just making a legal argument and talking about what could happen. Finally published it after like having to go talk to the principal like one-on-one, and then it won an award in the state for like I think I got like a silver. It was like top 3 columns written that year in the state and like what we did like the A system for size of the high school, so we were 3A I think.
Yeah.
And so I won a 3A award, and then they never let me write anything serious again.
My brother also wrote an article about the legalization of weed in high school that I'm pretty sure he won an award for, and I think there was some controversy around. Some shit in the school. It was he wrote it actually he had like a fellowship with like the local newspaper.
Oh, that's cool.
So he wrote it. It was like in the Harrisburg local newspaper. So it wasn't part of the school, but I think that there were people that thought it was like project. I'd have to ask my parents about it.
Yeah,
they
would
have
a copy of it.
Yeah, they definitely would have a copy of it. Yeah.
It's people. Well, and it's like in hindsight. Yeah, there was like demand. Like I don't know where I went to high school. I don't know how your town was, but people when I go back now. Especially like when you drink in New York, even in Vermont because it's so small, or Burlington, I go back to Texarkana, which my family doesn't live there anymore. But those last couple of times I did in college, I was like, the bars are all so like it's the only way to get to the bars to drive.
Yeah,
like there wasn't Uber there forever because it was Texarkana,
right? And
like cabs, like good fucking like it's Texarkana. Get in your damn truck, be a man, and drive home drunk as fuck, and don't get caught. It's like all y'all should have been smoking weed.
Were both your parents in the military?
Yeah.
And so you grew up like moving around a lot.
We moved around a lot until I was like 12.
And then you stayed in Texarkana.
And then we stayed in Texarkana.
So what are all the places you've lived?
So I was born here.
Okay.
We were here for like 2 years. And then I don't know if I'll get the order right.
So you're a real New Yorker, according to J-Lo.
It's like, man, I never tell anyone unless they ask me directly because it's like
my grandmother. She was born here and but has lived in Pennsylvania since she was 2.
Yeah, and I feel like the where are you from question is hard sometimes just because we like from 2 to 12, we lived in Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, Florida. I went and lived in Ireland for like a hot minute with my grandparents when both my parents were like active and moving.
How long was that for?
That was like half a year. I think not super long.
Yeah.
But I think that's Alabama, if I didn't say already. And then we got to Texas. But yeah, for that 2 to 12, it was like we weren't anywhere for more than 2 years. So when I think about like my being like a kid, I'm like I don't really, I just say military brat because I'm like I couldn't really pick one of those places.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a lot of places to live.
It was. I was constantly. I remember like when we were moving to Texas. That was like. I was old enough to like really mourn my friends. Like I think I was like, 11 or something, but I was like, oh, I have like a best friend and I'm like not going to see this guy again. Like not really, especially at that point in time. I'm 11, so we're talking like 2005. It's not like we had anything to message each other on, So I remember I think we did like some phone calls, but that shit stops after like 6 months. And that's just kind of what my childhood was. But I think it helped a lot with comedy because I think it made me, I got really good at making new friends. And I think that also translates to just like making small talk with comics and just like talking to random people. And generally speaking, feeling relatively comfortable on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was weird moving that much. It was weird moving that much. And it was weird moving that much and then settling in Texarkana, fucking Texas, of all places.
Right.
And, I don't really have any love lost for Texarkana. I love some people from there, like kind of like 2 at this point. My family's awesome. I love my family.
But your family doesn't even live there anymore?
Nope.
Where do they live?
Because they only stayed, because my youngest brother was born in 2003, so when we got to Texarkana, he was so young, and, me and my middle brother Connor, we had, raised so much hell about, like, constantly having to switch schools. They were like, okay, we're just going to, we're going to let Logan finish high school, and then we'll move, because they were ready to get out of Texarkana.
Yeah.
Like, fucking... within a couple years, and we were like, no, we don't want to move again. Like, we don't like Texarkana, but we hate moving more.
Yeah.
Like, we finally got our lives together here. And so they stayed. They let Logan finish high school. And then I remember my mom being like, we're going to keep the house in Texarkana for like a year, maybe 2, so that Logan has somewhere to come home to. And I think it was like 3-4 months into his freshman year of college, they were like, yeah, we found a spot in Alabama. We're moving. So like closer to, they're in like the Mobile area. So it's like close. My dad's from Alabama. So it's like closer to family he still has. My mom wanted to be somewhere she could go to the beach.
Okay. Where do your brothers live?
My middle brother he's currently in Alaska still, but moving to Kansas City. So he was living in Fairbanks, Alaska for the last 5 years? 5 or 6? Jesus, no, 5. And then youngest brother Logan is in Texas, like kind of basically right outside of Austin.
Yeah. Are you the only one that didn't do any military stuff?
Just because I got hurt.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that wait?
Yeah.
What happened? You broke your shoulder? Tore your rotator cuff?
I tore my labrum in my right shoulder twice in 6 months, and so that was like my senior year, and dude, I knew the whole time. I was like, I do not want to be a Marine. Like, that is, look at me, man. Like, this is my mind. So I'm like obviously shaved, buzz cut, and just the way my parents put it, because, my mom having emigrated here from Ireland, my dad growing up in the fucking 70s Alabama, they were like, the military provided like a life for us.
Yeah.
Like, for my dad, it was like, this is a way for me to get out. It's a way for me to travel the world. He was basically like a civil engineer most of his time in the Army, building bridges and shit. And my mom was in the Navy, and she like worked on aircraft carriers. And the biggest thing for them, like a lot of parents, especially like our age too, is like they were like, you can do whatever you want in life as long as you have a stable job and an income for like, right. You got to do that first. And so even when I was a kid, any notions of comedy were like, sure, yeah, you can absolutely do that after ROTC and after you serve your time so that your life is set up, and then you can get a real job, and then you can also do that. And so that's also why it just never seemed like something that I could really do, because I love my parents so much, but like, they're like, well, you guys chose to do ROTC. And I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah, but... and so the way it was like, you get this scholarship, it pays for everything. And that was also the big reason to get the scholarship. It was like, you can go to any college you want if you get the scholarship. So you get the grades, you get the scholarship, do whatever. So I got the scholarship, I had the grades, I got into Tulane. And at that point in time, because of my parents, in like middle school, I started reading, like my mom gave me the autobiography of Malcolm X when I was in like the 6th grade. And I ended up getting in trouble in high school with the swim team because I was getting other people to read it. And swear to God, our high school coach, Carl All, fuck you, I hate that guy. He's like this super Christian guy, and he was like, yeah, Ash is like spreading like hate, and like he's teaching people about like the Black Panthers. It was like I showed like 3 people the book and the movie. I like the movie, and I had to I got a talking to my best friend in middle school and the beginning of high school. His family made him stop talking to me. He was another mixed guy. Now he's like hyper Christian, like, and he like mixed, but he was living entirely with his white family. Whoa. And they shut that down completely. Just like, he was like banned from seeing me, weren't friends anymore. I was being told that I was not allowed to discuss these things like on swim team, share them with anybody. All that to say, I was like, I was reading books like that, socialism texts, philosophy. My parents were giving me all that stuff. And so by the time it was time to like be in ROTC, I was like, I don't think I like the military. Right. I don't think I fuck with this at all. And, I think that I've the privilege and luxury of the life that my parents set up for me and everything that they sacrificed to get to sit here and say like, oh, I don't want to choose this. I want to do something else. Because there is kind of like, it exists for a lot of people, it's like people who are cops and they're like, well, I'm a good cop. And it's like, you can objectively be a good cop, sure, but you are part of this, you are under this umbrella. And that is how I felt about the military. And so like just every year it got like, we're going and we're doing training, like they were teaching me how to be a Marine, and I was just like, we're like learning how to handle the guns and shit, and I'm like, I don't believe in like this is not what I want to do. And then towards the end of my junior year, I'd had one surgery on my left shoulder in high school. I had torn the labrum.
Was that a swim injury?
This one from swim, and then tore it in my right shoulder in college. And then they were like, basically I tore it 3 months before I was supposed to go to summer officer candidate school, which is like the last thing you have to do to officially earn the title Marine. Like they don't even put it on your uniform until like we had our uniforms and stuff that we had to wear, but they don't put Marine on it until you finish that school. And they were like, if you recover in 6 months, you can go to the next wave of OCS and still graduate with your class. And at this point, since it was like, in my mind, I was like, I just have to suck it up. Like, I'm just going to have to do this. Like, I don't see any other options. If I quit at that point, I would have had to pay the scholarship back. That was like...
Like, you paid the entire...
Everything, room
wow.
and board, but like, I would have to pay everything back. Housing. And so I was like, well, now it's not a feasible option for me. In hindsight, knowing what I know now, I'm like, okay, you get that debt, and I would have fucking gone and done something else, right? Like
yeah.
I'm in a different place mentally now, but then I was like, I can't do this to myself. I can't do this to my family, and so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna turn myself off and just go to OCS, be a Marine, do the thing, and so I rehabbed really hard to try to get back in time to make that second wave of OCS to graduate with my class, and I retore it in physical therapy, trying to get better faster. And when I tore it that time, they had to disconnect my bicep from where it naturally connects up to your shoulder, because they were like, since you tore this, like you tore it 2 times within 6 months, like you'll probably do it again, like if we don't do some additional do a little extra in there. And when I had that second surgery, though, the Department of the Navy was like, okay, we're going to medically disqualify this guy. But then they tried to say that I didn't get injured on their time, even though I did. They tried to say I didn't get injured on their time, so they were trying to cut me from the scholarship and make me pay everything back, because they were trying to frame it as like me being irresponsible, like, oh, you just got hurt on your own time kind of thing. So I had to stay in New Orleans an extra year and basically go through like this court process where I was like fighting to not have to pay the whole scholarship back. I had to get like character witnesses and everything, and then they made me pay for my senior year because I was hurt that whole year and couldn't participate, and they paid for the 3, and then I was released from the program. But it took I was in New Orleans for an extra 14 months because of going through that deliberation. It was fucked. I hated it. But I started doing comedy. And I was like, well, now all bets are off.
Well, and you had this super relatable story. A lot of people
yeah. Everyone's almost been a Marine.
But that is pretty crazy how like tearing your shoulder like really like saved your life in a lot of ways, like because
it's like the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, it's really
the painkillers they gave me kind of created a different issue, but it would have been awesome if it happened in a different way, but I completely agree.
If that doesn't happen, you just join the Marines, and because think about like how many people just have that experience, and then
and then still do it because they're caught up in the money or caught up in, you know,
whatever reason it
whatever
is,
contract. And no, I look back on it, and it was like a really hard year because that, like, even like to this day, especially having 3 total, like my shoulders are fucked, dude. Like still like often in pain.
Really?
Yeah, just
Is it both shoulders?
It's really just my right one at this point now, but it's like I can really not play much basketball, which fucking sucks. And then even like we played volleyball at Carmen's a couple weeks ago, and just like the next day, I have to take care of it like a fucking, like I'm an actual athlete or something.
Damn.
But I'm not an athlete, so I don't take care of myself that way. And so if I do anything that really involves it, I have to, really take care. But that year was crazy. But looking back, I was like, when I wrote some scripts that got me into the NYU MFA that like got me here. Initially, that didn't work out for money, but to get in, that was like the first official thing that made me go, okay, let me take this chance. Like, let me move.
What was the script that you wrote?
That you
submitted?
So I had to write a spec script and an original. And I hate that I let go of the original because there's a show on, I think it was CBS, that got made a couple years ago. That's the exact same thing. But I wrote a spec script for New Girl that I loved.
Right, yeah.
I put that up.
Yeah.
That was the first show I put up in New York, was a reading of that script because It
was good. It was a good one.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, I was really, I love sitcoms. That's like when I write pilots, that's what I write. And then the original was an hour long drama about wow, I haven't thought about this in a long time. How do you give the elevator pitch? It was about this town has a serial killer, and then turns out like kind of opens with like a Scream type scene of like this woman alone in her house. Serial killer comes, kills her. Her son is like in the cellar where it's been done, and the serial killer's his dad, and like he just watched his dad kill his mom. Cops are like closing in on him, so he decides to just like kill the mom, get out of there, or kill his wife, get out of there. And then he was gonna kill his son too, but then the cops get there, and the son like never says that it was his dad, and so the town is just like, oh, we just had this serial killer, and basically he got away. Son grows up, he's obviously all fucked up about it. He becomes a detective to quote unquote try to like right his wrongs kind of thing. Copycat killings start like 20 years later, or the police are like, well, they have to be copycats, and the detective is like, oh no, is it my dad? Like, is it my dad that's back? I forgot an important part. He stages his death to make it, the dad stages his death to make it look like he died. And so that's, the cops are like, so it must be a copycat, and the lead detective is like, it could be, but of course he doesn't. He's like, oh, so that was what the pilot was about. I still think it's really good.
It's pretty good. What's the show that's similar?
There's a show, it was called Prodigal Son, but it's different enough because Prodigal Son was about, like, it's about this guy who's a detective. His dad was a serial killer. But their relationship is more, I think he did turn his dad in when he was a kid. He was like, my dad's the killer. And then their relationship kind of becomes a Clarice, like Hannibal thing where he goes and talks to him about the cases. But when I saw the promos for it, and like the promos were like, the lead detective's tracing a serial killer, and his number one, his partner, his dad, who was also a serial killer. I was like, son of a bitch. I should have written it out.
I like yours more.
I think now that I'm talking about it, I feel like I want to go back to that.
I feel like it feels different enough.
Yeah, especially Prodigal Son's been off the air now for a bit.
Yeah, you said it was on CBS.
Exactly.
It was on HBO.
Maybe they'd buy another one like it.
Maybe copycat show.
CBS, though. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what got me into the. But the director of the program, he was like, I really like this pilot, but this new girl script, we could drop you into any writer's room right now. Like, I remember he said that on the phone. I was in New Orleans still, and I was like, okay, I'll move. Like, I'll do it. And then I got chewed up and spat out and was in Vermont I moved from New Orleans, I think, in May to New York. I was in New York until September 11th. That's when I got on the train because I couldn't afford a plane ticket. Got on the train with 2 suitcases up to Vermont on September 11th, and then started doing stand-up. And now it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. A full almost 10 years later now, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, it's 2017 when I got to Burlington.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's how I ended up at this bookstore.
You're probably wondering how I got here.
Yeah.
And you teach comedy now.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about that. How did you created the curriculum for the?
I didn't create it.
That's
what
they said.
I excessively rewrote it.
Okay.
And it is what we mostly use now.
How did you do that? Because comedy is a hard thing to teach. I've never taught comedy, so I guess I'm just wondering.
Yeah. So I mean, ultimately, the curriculum that we had was really bare bones, but I thought I had a good structure. It was like, kind of just built from, first class, you're like kind of just, it's basically a public speaking class. And then you go from like observational to like metaphors and analogies to topical. Like you really just spend each week on like writing one type of joke. But what I found was like, a lot of the people who take the class are people who are super interested in comedy, but have like no foundational knowledge of it at all. They're like, I'm a lawyer but I want to do this class. What even is a joke? So I'm, I think we've talked about this before, but I'm just such a comedy nerd that I was like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to just expand on my ideas on all these subjects that the curriculum already laid out. And so I was just able to like revisit a bunch of books I'd read and then direct the students to them too. I'm like, okay, we're going to go over this. Here's a quote from, or here's a passage from this book. Go read this book, but now we're going to expand on that, talk about it. I've been super into, really for years now, but particularly since living in New York, I've been like really committed to like existential philosophy and reading and just reading as much as I can. And so for observational comedy, I basically just kind of wrote a lecture and a class around phenomenology, which is like kind of the thing that existentialism was born from. And phenomenology is just the concept that philosophy can be you describing anything. Kind of like when you say a word too many times and it stops like sounding like a word, and you just get to like the root of like what is the thing. When I strip away all of my like all the context and preconceived notions about a thing, what is it? Like when you look at like a cup of coffee, what is it? It's like, okay, it's coffee. No, what is it? Okay, it's liquid. It's warm. When I drink it, what do I feel? I feel this. It makes me think of this, which makes me think of this, which makes me think of this. And you can just do that ad nauseum with anything, right? You touch this, it's like, okay, this is a mic stand. Like, oh, what's it made out of? This plastic. What kind of plastic is it? I don't really know. How does it make me feel? Oh, it's firm. It's this. It's coming out of the table. And then you just connect that to thoughts and feelings. And you get really connected to the world around you because you're stripping away like, oh, it's a mic stand. I'm not going to think twice about it. It's like, no, what if you like sat for like 10 minutes and just like thought about nothing else but this mic stand? What does it make you think of? How does it feel? How does it touch? How heavy is it? And who all has touched this before you, like all that kind of thing. And then connecting it to other stuff, I find really makes me feel tangibly connected to the world around me. And it also is so helpful for writing observational comedy because then you've kind of just started to train your mind to do that what's the deal with airline food thing.
Right.
It's like, because like, oh, no one thinks twice about airline food. And it's like, no, but what is the deal,
Right,
and it's fucking super fun Zionist Jerry Seinfeld. But
what is Israel?
What is Palestine?
It's not a place.
That's not a joke for me to make, but you'd kill with that.
I think that might be something.
That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just bring a lot of what I sincerely use in stand-up into the class, and I find that people really connect with it because I think a lot of it is because they can tell that I really care about it, and I think it helps build a bridge for people to know that I'm taking the class as seriously as they're taking the class. And from there, I'm also just really like honest. Like I give a disclaimer in like the first class. I'm like, I'm really straightforward with feedback. Like I'm not ever going to be mean. I'm not ever going to be personal, but I will ask you, like, what is the joke here? Why'd you make that joke that way? I don't think you should say that word, like that kind of stuff. And I'm gonna say that to you, like in my class, everyone does their set, and then I have them stay on stage, and I give them the feedback like right afterwards. The reason I do it that way specifically is once because I'm taking notes in real time to get them the feedback right then, and two, I also think it's kind of like a subconscious like comfortable on stage exercise to like have them like stand there and just like kind of feel uncomfortable, and then by like and everyone hates it for like 3 weeks and they're squirming and they don't want to stand out there, and then by like week 6, 7, I'm like, yeah, this joke I really think you can do better. This structure was weird. This didn't make any sense. This was obviously I'm complimenting too, right?
Yeah,
this was really good. I just try to make the feedback as specific as possible, but then between the feedback, the lectures, and then them getting comfortable on stage by just me making them be on stage and feel uncomfortable for a couple of weeks. By like week 7, by the show, they're like, okay, give me the mic. Like, okay. In a way, it's really fulfilling. Like it's kind of been one of the great joys of my life. Like, I know it sounds really cheesy, but just seeing people come in who won't say a word and are so nervous and are so like self-conscious and I'm not funny and like what am I even doing taking this class? Seeing them go from that to their like student showcase and them crushing, and it's just like I'm like, look what you did. Like it's really beautiful, and just you know how good it feels to be on stage and to do well. I want everyone to get to feel that or something like it, and those classes are a way I get to do that.
And are you just teaching level 1?
I do 1 and 2.
And then what's the difference?
So 2 is just really introductory on all of those concepts, or 1 is really introductory on all those concepts, and then two is more so where there's like kind of a loose curriculum, but it's like, okay, write a joke right now. Like, okay, everyone pull up Reuters or CNN, whatever the fuck, and like write me a news joke right now. Okay, now we did the joke. Why isn't the joke good? We're going to work on this joke until it's good. Tell me how you're going to make the joke good. And then we talk about it. Maybe does it need more? Is the context not clear? This, that, and the other. It's more so, it's more, what is it? Not I guess Socratic. Like, I'm just asking them a lot of questions. Okay, that joke wasn't very good. How do you think you can make it better? But it's the same kind of level of feedback of, we're talking really honestly about the material. Because then when something's good, and they always end up with good stuff. When something's good, they know that you're not blowing smoke up their ass.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you if it's not good. And so then when they do well, and they're then able to go, oh, I didn't need Ash to tell me that the context wasn't clear and that the misdirection wasn't strong enough and that my analogy wasn't like silly enough. Like, I can do all that for myself now. And then we have like just different types of exercises that we do and stuff. But that's the main difference, I'd say. Yeah.
Do you feel like teaching stand-up has like helped you with your own?
Yes and
it's
no.
Like, yeah?
Yeah, yes and no. I think that it has kept me sharp in terms of not getting lazy about how critical I am about my own work.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a period, basically the year before I started teaching again, where I was definitely getting a little laissez-faire about like, I'll figure it out on stage, which is not, like, there are people who are great at that, and that's never been the kind of comedian I've been. And so for like a year,
you've always been pretty like tightly written. Yeah,
and it's just my comfort. It's where I like to be, and I just got lazy for a year, and then I wasn't doing as well. I was doing like just only old shit because none of my new shit was good. And it's because I was giving up on it, I was doing the thing where I loved the premise, and then the joke wasn't great at a mic, and I just threw it away instead of being like, no, wait, there is something here. I just need to fucking do the work. And so then teaching the classes, and something I'll say in the class a lot is like, I'm not going to ask you guys to do anything I wouldn't do, right? Kind of like that classic thing. And then as I was doing that, I was like, I don't do a lot of this stuff anymore. I need to be doing it again because I'm watching month after month. I'm watching it work again. Like, I know this stuff works. And so it helps keep me in that mindset at the same time with the extra time suck. Like, if I'm doing 2 or 3 classes, that's like an extra 9 hours a week on top of the 9 to 5 and like taking care of the dog. Sometimes it's then like, oh, when I'm gonna write, when am I gonna write? But I've definitely found more of a balance with that now, and I feel like even just in the last couple months, I feel like I've kind of found my pen again in a way that feels really exciting. So yeah, it's best job I've ever had. I love that job. Yeah.
Where do you like? What are your goals for right now?
What are my goals for right now? Well, I just didn't get any of the things I submitted for over the last couple months. Didn't get JFL again. Didn't get the Onion. And I was really sad because I don't know, like this is my second year auditioning for JFL, and I feel like I'm usually pretty good about keeping a level, like keeping my expectations in check. But I just crushed so hard in the second, like the callback this year. I was like, I think I might have gotten that shit. And so then to not get it, I was like, you know, let myself feel sad about it. Let myself feel sad about the other thing. I think just because I'd really felt like I had done my best.
Yeah.
And now I would say my goal with all of that context is to just get better in a really like not like physically visible, I guess, but just in like I want the next time anyone sees me to be like, oh, like Ash was pretty good, but that was really good. And so I have doing like the hour at Union Hall August 14th, and my music analogy for that is like, you know how like Mr. Morale is like it's like a concept album, Pimp a Butterfly concept album. GNX is just rapping.
Yeah.
This hour is just rapping.
Okay.
Like, I'm just gonna try to be how funny, how many laughs per minute, like how hard can I crush? So that's the goal right now. Yeah. I'm really excited about it. I think I can do it. I'm gonna work like I can do it. And then we'll see.
And why aren't you more famous?
Why aren't I more famous? I think just objectively, like I don't think I work hard enough. Like if I'm being really honest, like I think that you and I know there's like a pretty there's a formula right now, kind of the clearest formula there's ever been.
Right.
We all hate it, but it's like I choose not to be the guy who tapes every set.
Yeah.
I choose not to be the guy who posts clips every other day and makes a release schedule. Like if I wanted to do those things, I would need to work harder. And if I did those things, I would probably get results. So yeah, I'm not working hard enough. I think in general, I'm not working hard enough. I would like to work harder in everything just because I think that I can be a better comic than I am right now. But to me, that's really what it comes down to is like how I'm choosing to spend my time. And I'm happy with how I spent my time.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I mean, a lot of that stuff, it feels like, are you working to get better or are you working to get fame? And I do. And obviously some of the people that, you know, blow up online are super talented and,
of course,
working really hard at the craft of stand-up. But I do think about that a lot where I'm like, yeah, there is an easy formula. Like, if I did film every single set, like, whether it's a show or open mic, and cut clips together from every set, and the same thing with this podcast, where I'm like, I could be cutting, you know, clips to get, like, it would, like, there would be results. Like, totally. The results would be tangible. But then there is something where I'm like, is it worth it?
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I do know that I'm shifting into a place where like I'm about to try being the clip guy. I've got a camera, an actual camera, getting a little mic. I'm gonna just try the clip thing just to see, because honestly, I know we're wrapping up. The last thing I'll say about it is I resisted doing the meme format jokes forever because I think that is. I think it's a scourge. I think it is belittling of our craft that we've gone from live to reels all the way back to fucking memes. That said, I put one together last week with the idea that it would not do well, and then I'd have a reason to be like, and that's why I don't do that shit. And it's the most like thing I've posted in probably 2 years.
There's the Chance the
It was
Rapper.
the Chance the
one.
Rapper.
Yeah, I was because I was looking at your Instagram.
It's the most frustrating thing that's ever happened. I wrote that joke in 5 minutes, and then I memed it, and it's the most successful.
And that's not even. Have you done that on stage, or it's just the?
I
meme?
did it. The first time I did it on stage was the night before, and I'd written it that day, and so I was like, I guess I should. I'm gonna try playing the social media game. It's already on its way out, but I'm gonna be on the last ship out of chopper out of Vietnam. See if I can get something out of it. But
yeah, I gotta. Yeah, I should probably just do that too. We all just gotta do it. It sucks. It is also. It's one of those things where it's like it's. I think, like you said, that it's very clear what there is to do.
Yeah.
I think, and it's. I mean, the problem is just that it's. We don't like it. Like it's also, and like so
good.
much of like, why are we doing stand up? Why are we like creating stuff? Is like, cause I want to do stuff that I like.
Yeah.
And like that's the whole, like for me, that's the whole reason why like I wanted to like dedicate my life to comedy.
Yeah.
It's just being like, well, I don't like doing work that isn't fun.
Yeah.
And then just to be like, oh, so I still have to do work that isn't fun. I actually have to do even more work than isn't just fun than if I just than if I just would just have a regular job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really sucks in that way. And also I'm gonna eat it for a couple months and see what happens. Because I just want to do stand up in more places. Not even like literally more places, like I want to like get into clubs here.
Yeah.
I want to do Union Hall more, and I do know that the social media stuff will lead to more of that. I've done a pretty good job of just getting them like organically, boots on the ground, pun. But yeah, it's like, okay, let's see if I can get anything more out of it.
Yeah.
We'll give it a shot.
Anything you want to plug before we wrap up?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Union Hall, August 14th. If this comes out by then, I'm doing an hour, and it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. So special guests will be fun. Come through.
Ash Diggs.
Thanks, man. This was great.
Yeah, this was fun. Extra green.